hello everyone out there in listening land. Welcome to the Alternia Archives. My name is Zordon. Normally it is Panabon on Sunday night and other things in the Alternia Archives. But tonight I am Zordon because you were listening to Becoming Mighty and Morphin. This is a Power Rangers TTRPG experience brought to you by the lovely folks at Renegade Games and hosted by the lovely family of games at Rem Alternus. We're going to do introductions a little differently because we ended last week on a cliffhanger. So, what happened was at the end of last game, time froze. And unlike the first time this happened, this was not Zordon's doing. And so when you introduce yourself, I want you to let the audience know about what it's like for you to be frozen, essentially, for the moment. And don't forget, I'll let you know where you are on the field. So where you are on the field, Eddie is not with us tonight, but Eddie is not on the field. He's back in the breezeway. So nobody would really get to him in time anyways. Brick, you are not on the stage currently because you gave up your place in the final round for Cecily. It was very sweet. And then Jane, Quentin, and Cecily, you are on stage, and Brick is, I would say, about 20 feet away on the green field because everything froze and you were being led back to the breezeway. So you're like between the stage and the breezeway. So let's go around and introduce. As I see it, we'll start with Quentin. Hello, Mr. Turner.
Yes. Hello. Well, Quentin is a bit of a clever, kind of quick, teenager with attitude, so to speak. He likes theater and a lot of things in the arts as well as the sciences, and he tries to lend his wit to the team where he can help keep everybody going that way. It's a little bit comedic sometimes when I'm able to do it right.
Now, before you were frozen, they were just about to ask you your debate question. So you were frozen before you even heard your questions, and now you have this time to anticipate.
All the different questions that it could be, I have no idea. If only I froze after they asked the question.
It's true, but time has frozen around you because you are a ranger. Your power coin kind of goes off, so you are not frozen like you can't. Like you're not frozen.
But everybody else essentially is.
Everyone else, all the non-rangers.
Oh.
And Jane, you're up on stage with Quentin, and suddenly you've just done this really great thing about your honoring your family's military service, which goes over really well in a military town. And you had the potential to answer the bonus question about how you would defeat Rita Repulsa, but everyone got frozen. So introduce yourself and let us know what you think of being frozen.
I have to say right now, being frozen is not great. Like this song makes me very uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Well, you're in good company because the other rangers are right there with you at least. And your power coin makes sure you're stable and can actually move and talk and think, as opposed to everyone else in the audience who was actually frozen mid-cheer, which is not ideal, but hilarious to visualize. And then we're going to go to Brick.
It's me, Brick Kerrigan, also known as Chunky Love on the internets. I am no longer subject to your ASMR nightmares, but I'm here, and being frozen is weird. It's like being frozen is weird. I'm looking around, and everything seems to be coated in like a grayscale filter. Everything's very desaturated, except for me. I'm still in full color, but I feel like I'm moving around, but nothing else is moving around me. So it's quite weird.
True.
Weird.
But at least you didn't have to answer. You didn't have a debate question answer. So when your power coin kicks in and you get your pink Falcon Lightning, Lord of the Skies, as you are able to move and think and speak. Everybody else, give me an alertness roll to see if you see the thing. Oh, I needed that to be an alertness roll. Oh, there it is, the alertness roll. Because I was like, that's conditioning. That's not helpful at all.
Yeah, I jumped in
I understand. Okay, so Quentin, you don't see
Yeah.
this. Brick
Yeah,
and
I'm
Jane.
way too enamored at the fact everything is frozen around me. I
Do you
feel
want
maybe I'm dead. Maybe this is what death is. I don't know. Am I crossing over? I have no idea.
I don't
But
know,
he's
but
completely distracted.
if you were to follow Jane's gaze, Jane and Brick, you notice at the same time a ghostly figure that's descending from the sky. And this is a kind of classic gray ghost. And it is lighting down on every other kind of person in the arena. It's definitely lighting down and talking to all the people that are around your age, all the people that stayed in the stands, especially to watch the proceeding. And it seems to be, well, they're responding when it appears. They're not afraid. Just like there's like a moment across their face. And I want Rick and Jane to give me another alertness to see which one of you will be approached first.
21.
Okay, Brick is going to be approached first. You're at ground level, so it's easier for the ghost to get to you. This ghost has a female voice, and you hear it in the corner of her ear. Like she's kind of behind you. She doesn't expect you to be able to move. And you hear the question, "Are you happy?"
Who are you? Who is this? Who's
Uh,
talking to me?
Roll me. Let's see if you can do this. So this is going to be a persuasion. If you get high enough persuasion, I'll give you a.
Persuasion. Let's go. 18.
I am the voice of the one who just wants to know if you're happy with your life, Rick Kerrigan.
Seems kind of like a loaded question, mystery gray ghost person in my ear. I feel happy. I'm around people that I like a lot, and I've been given this very interesting opportunity to help people, and that makes me feel pretty good about myself. So I'd say overall, I guess I'm happy. Why shouldn't I be?
Give me a culture roll.
17.
That was not the answer she was looking for.
Cool.
You don't get attacked, but you get the sense that she is very disappointed and doesn't think that you're being honest with her. But she is going to move on, and she's sprinkled just a seed of doubt in your mind. Are you happy? And we're going to move on to the also frozen Cecily Adwell, who's standing on stage with Jane and Quentin, and has given a really great answer before she got frozen, thankfully.
Oh,
Well, everyone in the stadium was frozen. Your power coin has made sure that you can still move and things like that. But you are in the same, and as Rick is conversing with this ghost woman, you get that same question in your ear as she comes up to you and asks you, "Are you happy, Cecily Adwell?"
And Cecily is going to think for a second, take a breath, and she's going to pause and say, for all intents and purposes, I would say I am happy. Yeah.
Give me a culture roll.
Oh, cool. I got a 19.
You got 19. You didn't give the correct answer, but also the question is worded ambiguously. And this is a trick of someone trying to make you doubt yourself. Unfortunately, now you're wondering, because you've spent the past weekend being completely tested, and you've gone through all these physical challenges and like a weird puzzle game, and now you're standing on a stage and everyone's frozen, and you're a Power Ranger, and the question is, are you happy? And Clinton, you got what did you get, a 5? You got a 3.
Yeah, my alertness, my initial alertness was bad.
You get a voice in your ear from the ghost going, oh dear, I know you're not happy.
Yep, I'm dead. Definitely dead.
Maybe someday, but today's not that day, Quentin Turner. Just think, you could be happy if you really try.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
You don't get a response because the ghost has already moved to Jane Russell and was asking, Jane Russell, are you happy?
No. I don't like the frozenness of all of these people. I'm worried that something happens to them. So right at this particular moment, no, I am not very happy.
Oh, that's why he chose you. Such a Red Ranger. Poor thing. You have no idea what's to come. And with that, your risk communicators all go off with Alpha trying to contact you, but you cannot respond unless someone gives me a high enough technology roll.
Can we all roll?
Yeah, roll technology. We'll see if anybody can get through.
Nope.
Nope.
Yep, so did I.
Okay, a 7 is not going to do it for you.
Oh,
4.
Rick got a 4, which is, yeah, it sounds like your communicator is underwater.
come on,
Your
Blue Ranger, your only hope.
Your technology
I'm
is
giving it a
D2.
shot. She's loading.
Yeah.
Actually, give me. I'm gonna have you use your special Blue Ranger powers. I want you to give me a
Oh.
science instead of a technology roll, because you
Oh,
have
cool.
grid speak and aptitude augmenter, and there is no better time than right now.
Let's do it.
Nice. Wow.
That 19 critical
19.
success. You really don't like this. There's a ghost here asking some questions, and you were definitely like, something's going on here that does not sit right with you in your very soul. Like it's like the old witch couple from Princess Bride, but if they definitely were acting more sus. And so you're actually able to get through to Alpha, and Alpha says, Ranger's gonna get through? Oh, did I get through to anyone? We recognize a spell in your area, but I seem to be having trouble teleporting you away. Hold tight and be safe. And it's at that moment the ghost creature approaches La Cienega and asks if La Cienega is happy. And La Cienega, who has been kind of leading this whole thing, winces. It looks like she's actually in a little bit of pain from the question itself. And I'm going to give this to you, Cecily. The question is meant to deal psychic damage to people. Brick, Eddie is in your line of sight, and Eddie's going to be the last person that sees this ghost before it kind of floats away. Because by the time it gets to the 2 red herring guards from last episode, they are neither happy nor unhappy. They're the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Scully and whatever his name is of this universe. So they don't have a concept of it. But I rolled earlier for Eddie. Eddie got a 21 on alertness. So they know enough. And they do like a 2-minute monologue about happiness, enough to annoy the ghost away. And it's like reverse psychic damage on the ghost. And it's enough to start up time again. But nobody has witnessed the ghost but you. Basically, everything starts to speed up back to normal time like a VHS tape. And you hear, Quentin Turner, it's time for your question. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Quentin Turner, your question is, what is one hope you have for yourself?
It's a very good question. I have to say, I hope to have a prosperous future for my family and my friends. Does that count as an answer?
That answer is whatever answer you wanted to give for a 2-year full ride scholarship to the school of your choice. That's what La Cienega responds with. And you are allowed to answer the follow-up question as Cecily Adwell and 2 of the others have done. Jane Russell and Quentin Turner, you both have a chance to answer this question. How would you deal with Rita Repulsa?
I mean, shouldn't the Power Rangers be the ones that... I mean, I would just try to keep everybody safe away from whatever it is she's doing. And, yeah.
I mean, that's if that's your answer, that's fine. Jane, you get a chance because you didn't get a chance to answer the bonus question before you were frozen. Only Cecily did. So.
I did 3 was close. Trying to keep everyone safe.
All right. The emo kid goes, the one that has the black hoodie on and has like spiky purple hair out from underneath it. And they talk about starting an anime styled rock band that nobody can follow. And the 5th kid that kind of looks like a shark were made human talked about opening up an aquarium, but they can't seem to hold their thoughts together. They did not roll high on their audience intimidation. And so you're all taken back to the breezeway while the judges that were in the audience score. And when you come back, they announce that Jane Russell has won a 2-year full ride scholarship to the school of their choice. And Jane, your answer in a military town very much moved much of the audience who have families in the military. You've got a military base right next to Angel Grove. So you've won a 2-year free full ride to a school of your choice. There's like confetti, and you can make a speech, but yeah, there's like confetti.
Well done, Jane.
Okay, so
I'll just ride in your shadow. That's fine.
Jane, if anyone deserves it, it's definitely you.
Oh yeah.
For
So I don't
sure.
think you should feel bad about winning. Everyone who was up there had the ability to win. So you gave the military people what they wanted to hear.
no. She's very embarrassed. She's like very teary eyed. She feels really bad. She was really afraid of this thing. But she's also very excited. A little bummed that
I'm sure there'll be another scholarship or whatever coming around.
When you say coming around, Quentin, enough has moved out. The audience has moved out. So Alpha is actually able to, like, mid speeches, you're trying to console Jane. The 5 of you are teleported to the command center. You are now with.
Do I land on my feet this time?
Roll me acrobatics to see if you land on your
Shouldn't
feet.
have said something. Got it.
I wasn't going to do it, but you forced my hand.
There we go. I do not. I
Uh,
land unceremoniously on the ground like I've done every time so far.
It's true. You land on your face just like in the commercial,
Oh,
right onto the
why?
grating again. But Alpha's there to help you up.
Hi, Alpha. I'm just gonna be here for a moment.
Rangers, are you okay?
Wait, was it like a
got-
female voice? A
wait,
weird
we-
spectral thing?
Yeah, Alpha doing great. Hey, I just have one question. First of all, did you notice that like time kind of froze there for a second? Were you guys able to pick up on that?
It was an unspecified spell. It was a dark spell, but we couldn't figure out what it was. We got in communication with Cecily, but just to let you know to try your hardest to be safe. And Zordon goes, unfortunately, Granger Brick, it's the Morphin grid comes with mysteries of its own, unknowing. And when there are dark forces, there are not always easy answers.
Okay, cool. Hey, Zordon, anywhere in that, you guys have like you guys have been doing this whole like fighting evil thing for like millennium, right? Do you have any information on like a gray ghost email thing that likes to ask questions about happiness?
There are spirits in the Morphin grid, but most of them wouldn't. Was it a corporeal ghost? Did it become human? Could you physically touch it?
I did see it walking around to the different students and us and whispering in their ears. They asked me if I was happy. I'm assuming that's what everybody was asked. They weren't like hostile or anything. They didn't try to attack us, but it was just really kind of like ominous, I guess.
Very unsettling. Did any of you other Rangers have a meeting with this ghost figure?
It has to be
I
Yeah,
was happy.
it happened to me too.
I got a voice. I didn't see where it was coming from.
That's very disturbing. But there is much about the Morphin grid we do not know. Alpha and I will look to see in our records of the grid if there's any mention of a ghostly figure that asks for happiness. If anyone wishes to assist in that, we would be most grateful. For the lore of the Morphin grid is not just ours alone, but is a living document for you as well. And while you are here, Zordon is going to transition unless anyone has any other questions or conjectures.
No, Jane was just saying to be happy to help with research.
So if you want to help with the research, I'm going to actually have you roll that, and then we're going to roll to see if you all upgrade your armor or weapons, as we've discussed previously. And this is going to be a technology roll.
I am no for anything.
This is
You
to
don't-
help.
Yeah, this is to help to see if you can find out any information. Jane, you're not unhelpful. I mean, you don't like burn down the pages in the Sacred Temple or anything. You just don't find any reference to a happiness spirit or anything like that.
I did see it, right? You did tell me that I saw it, right?
Yeah, you did see it. It was
Okay.
more of floating than a walking, but it could have
Oh,
been like
Sure.
close enough, really.
Did I give it a roll?
You can give it a roll. It's a technology roll. Anybody that wants to help, look up information.
Technology, culture, any of those?
Yeah, I
would
got
work.
a 9.
9. Yeah, it's going to be a technology roll for this because this is about
Okay.
surgeons or something specific. To y'all are focusing on
Yes.
the idea of happiness, and so that's why you're not
Mhm.
finding what you're looking for. Quentin,
Am I focusing on the idea of sadness?
yeah, something like that. So Brick got a 7 as well. That's Brick. You don't manage to set anything on fire, but there's a really cool
I'm just-
drawing of a falcon and a falconer on one of the pages that really calls
Yeah.
you, and you get
Yeah.
really distracted by it because you swear that you saw it moving. And you can't seem to replicate it when you look away and back at it, but you can swear for a moment like that the falconer kind of winked at you a little bit. So you don't know what's going on with these books, but it was super cool. Quentin, there is a shadow to the Morphin grid.
A shadow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not. So it goes on to explain basically what happened to Brick during your recycling adventure when they came out with their Falcon Thunderslinger. But there's a page missing, and it looks like it was torn out. Not that it's just missing. There was a page torn out of this book, of this lore.
Oh, all right. I'll definitely gonna make note of that. Page missing.
Yeah.
Anything else I find other than there's a shadow to the grid and this page that's missing?
Not yet.
Okay. Hey, did any of you notice that there's a shadow to the Morphin grid? I'm sure.
I did
Quentin,
not
I'm gonna
notice
need
that.
you to not speak like Zordon in poems and metaphors. I need you to. What do you mean a shadow
Okay.
to the Morphin grid?
So a
I don't even-
shadow is when
I
light
know what
is
a
on the
shadow
opposite side
is.
of okay, all right. Honestly, it's the best way I could put it. It's like the dark side of the Morphin grid, it seems. But looking through this, it looks like there's a page missing. Like it was taken or lost or something.
I don't know, guys. I'd hate to say this, but it's just like Zordon seems to be like keeping a lot of secrets from us, and I feel like if we're trying to save the world here, how can we do that without all of the information?
Is anybody else besides us access to this book?
There was the guy who was being really creepy with you and Eddie, Quentin, and he had like some connection to the grid, right?
Yeah, no, he did. That's a good point. He was really creepy.
I think I don't know. I think we need to do some more research on this on the Morphin grid. It seems like there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, and if Zordon's not going to tell us, we're going to have to figure it out ourselves.
How do you suppose we do that?
That's a really good question, and when I come up with an answer, maybe I'll let you know.
At
Fair
that
enough.
point, Alpha comes cuddling over and goes, Alpha has actually attempted to make coffee for you. It has a consistency of mud, so you may not want to drink it because it might actually be motor oil warmed up. So maybe don't drink Alpha 5's coffee, but it's a sweet gesture. And Alpha goes, Rangers, I'm sorry that we don't necessarily have all the answers. I hope you found something useful in the book. The book's been with us for millennia, for eons, and there are just so many mysteries to the Morphin grid. But the best that we can do with what we have right now is we can attempt to help upgrade your armor or your weapons if you wish. And so we're going to go ahead and do that
And do that.
segue. We're segueing hard. We're taking a hard left.
A very good segue.
And you can always ask Alpha and Zordon anything. I can't guarantee the answers, but you can ask about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the top here. So Jane, you want to upgrade your grappler with the element damage upgrade to get fire. And
Correct.
so I need you to roll me condition and get a D10 or higher. You got a 21. I'm not going to have you roll how long that will take to upgrade. That's just going to be ready for you next episode. So you're going to have, it doesn't have the fancy name yet, but you're going to have something that if anyone else tries to hold it, it will be so warm to the touch they won't be able to handle it. And Brick Kerrigan, you wanted to update your armor, correct?
Yeah, I was okay. So since we had this discussion earlier, I thought of something, and I want you to let me know if it's possible.
Sure.
I was thinking of like having like a thing to my weapon that maybe like if I shoot it at someone, instead of like it could have an alternate effect of like if it doesn't, I want it to be kind of like if I shoot it at them and it hits them, it can like freeze them in place. I guess that's freeze, right? But that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like if I shoot it, it's like it's like a coil of like pink energy that's like stopping them from moving. Do you know what I mean?
So there's two versions of this. There's a psychic version where they become bewildered and lost in thought, and there's a physical version to it, which is very close to stun, but could also be cold. And so you can kind of decide if you want them, because it's going to give you the same effect, essentially, and you can decide if you just want to bewilder them or if you actually want to physically stop them, because they'll lose that turn for themselves no matter what you do. So it's just which one interests you more, really.
Okay, I think I'm maybe overthinking this a little bit. I think maybe should I just go with the armor upgrade since that's what I told you, or should I switch it up?
I would say do the armor for now because you can only do one thing at a time, anyways. You can come back to it next
Sure.
time.
Okay, armor. What am I rolling?
You're rolling conditioning, and you need to get a 10 or a higher.
16, baby.
16.
Nice.
Roll me a
Yeah.
D20 to figure out how long it's going to take.
Forever.
But
17.
It's going to take
baby.
17 days to retrofit this. So it will take 2 episodes, essentially. It'll take 2 more sessions for this because you wanted a low roll for the number of days. So it's going to take 2 sessions in order for you to have the upgrade.
Oh.
There's so much rolling happening.
Okay, I got it.
So
Okay,
much rolling is happening. I have to go with
3.
the first one. I have to go with the first one. You'll get it in 2 episodes. It'll be okay.
Fine.
That's just sometimes how it
Fine.
happens. Bless you for trying, though.
Yeah, I just kept rolling high.
You just kept rolling
The
high.
one
and it
time I
happened.
don't want to.
It's true. Cecily, you are also going for the element damage upgrade, and you're attempting to add a poison to your blade.
Yes.
So please give me that conditioning roll, and it has to be 10 or higher. Also, if you have upgrades, please remember to write down how long they take, because I'm not going to remember.
I got a 10.
You got a 10.
I just scraped by.
You did. Give me that D20 roll, and we'll see how many days it takes for you.
Do it.
Add
Oh, finally.
to your weapon.
That's 12.
Well, I will give it to you in 1 episode.
One episode. Great. It's going to get poison. Poison.
You get a poison on your weapon. Quentin, you wanted to upgrade your claws with stun damage. And this is going to be that same element damage upgrade. Please give me a conditioning roll.
All right. 10.
You got a 10, which is
All right.
the exact number you needed. So for everyone listening, there is kind of a ladder to this. So the next time they want to upgrade, they'll have to get a 15 or higher. And the thing to upgrade it will change as it becomes more legendary and prototype and specific to them. But for the first one, 10's what you need. And so give me a D20 roll to see how many days it takes to make this happen.
All right. 8.
You got an 8. So I will give you next episode your stun claws already, and the reason this is easy for Alpha is that Yellow Rangers traditionally take stun damage, and then they go off and do a million things with it. But Yellow is stun damage. That's pretty usual. So Alpha does not have an issue with getting that done and quickly.
Awesome.
Congratulations to everyone who wishes to who succeeded in upgrading things, and please write down how long that will take because I won't remember. Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you on Discord. 'cause
To clarify, does that mean that next episode I'll have it, or an episode after that?
An episode after.
Okay, just wanted to
Yeah.
confirm for my brain.
So Alpha's like working in the background to make it happen, essentially. It's a little okay. So who gets the newspaper in our group?
I'm gonna say Cecily reads the newspaper because she's an old soul.
I don't read it to my grandparents.
Okay.
If I do,
Also, your grandparents want to throw a party for you because they're so happy for you. Just want to let
Aw.
you know, Jane. So you can decide if you want to do that like as like a bonus thing, or if you want to just like have that happen to them. But they're very proud of you. So we have 2 newspapers. Anyone getting the newspaper for whatever reason, I want you to give me an alertness roll. You're going to glance at something if you get a high enough, and it's going to draw your attention. Got 19. It's a really big ad. Like you can't avoid it. It's in large print because it's made. It's made to garner the attention of older readers. So it's made in very large print. And that 14, I'll give this both to you, Jane and Cecily.
Perfect.
Now, Angel Grove is not known for antiques. There are a couple of really great antique malls. There's a couple of flea markets. In fact, there's a flea market that converts to a drive-in theater. But it's not something that Angel Grove is really known for, of the many things it's known for. But the antique market on Shayland Drive is having a free entry weekend event. And there's a coupon, so it's for like $5 to get in for free. And so both of you noticed this, Brick and Quentin. Do either of you look at groves, like even just as like a hobby?
Quentin probably would.
Yeah, I think Brick just kind of like has it on his phone to have it and put sports stuff. So like when his practice, if there's
So-
any,
So Brick, on Friday nights, you get like 3 messages in quick succession from fellow baseball players that I'll say, bro, and they're alerting you to a all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast happening on Shayland Drive as well, right next to that antique market, and it's a fundraiser for the Angel Grove Fire Department and Brigade, because with monsters terrorizing the city, there's always a fire to put out. The only catch is that you have to be there at 8 a.m., and most of the broing is about not wanting to be up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday for non-practice type thing.
Do I come across this pancake breakfast thing?
If you are looking at Grove, you're going to come across it because people are like fighting to get a seat, but because I like you, I'll make sure you get a seat if you want to go.
Yeah, if I see the promise of all you can eat food, I'll try to make sure I get a seat.
It's donation
This
based.
sounds like
they're
Okay.
they're recommending a $20 entry fee, but it's donation based. So if you can't do a whole 20, it's fine. But it's going to be all you can eat pancakes. And
Right.
no one's going to be like.
I'll do what I can. I'll raise what I can. I'll probably try to
It
secure a
sounds
seat
like
and
it's-
spend the rest of the evening like canvassing my neighborhood to try to raise the funds
Oh, that's
to do it.
I'm gonna give you a story point for trying to canvassing your neighborhood to raise funds for the fire department. Also, everyone, because we're at the start of a new session, make sure to take your story point because it could come in handy. Because you can use one person voting. And Rick, you were saying something about the pancake.
Oh, I was just saying sounds like it's time for some breakfast.
It is time for breakfast. The pancakes come with eggs on your first round and one choice of breakfast meat. But after that, it's all pancake. You do have a choice. If you donate $40, you can get either blueberries or chocolate chips in your pancake. But for the $20 donation mark, you get regular all-American pancakes. With no
I like
addition.
to think Sorry, I'd like to think that Brick has maybe like a little jar, like a little piggy bank in his room that is like this. I'm assuming this
I
probably
love the visual.
this I'm assuming that this donation thing happens every year in Angel Grove, or is a pretty regular thing. So
This is
because
a new thing. I'm also going to
oh,
say that your mother has been on eBay, and you have recently been given a. She does not know why she's giving you this. She's given you a falcon piggy bank for the next time you need to save coin, and
that's
she
cute.
cannot say
Nice.
why, but she's doing it.
But okay, so in that case, Brick has a piggy bank that he uses that has like a taped note on it that says Brickfist Emergency Fund.
So good, so good.
And
I'm gonna get
so
T-shirts printed up with Breakfast Emergency Fund on them. It's so
I like
good.
it. I like it.
Brickfist Emergency Fund. So when he hears about this donation, Brickfist, he smashes his feet. Donate whatever's in there so that he can have pancakes.
By the way, Quentin, the
Mhm.
morning of, as you're leaving your house to go for your own personal
Mhm.
Quentin fest, breakfast.
Oh,
It
it's
only
still a
works for brick.
breakfast.
It's a breakfast. So going for your
It's
own
still a
personal
breakfast.
breakfast, the yellow cat is watching you. The one that
I
lives
will
on your
wave
fence.
to said yellow cat. Like, good morning, there, Yellowy. I'll catch you
You're
later.
you're you're not sure, but the cat arches their eyebrows at you, which is not something a cat is physiologically supposed to be able to do. But they seem either very pleased or amused that you're addressing them. And their eyes
All right.
follow you in the way that cat eyes follow humans as they move to new locations.
All right.
Uh,
As I keep going, I'll just kind of put my fingers at that, be like, all right, stay creepy, awesome, and I'll just keep.
Does anyone want to talk to anyone else about the fact you're doing this? Because you're going to see each other because the pancake breakfast and the antique market are happening right next door to each
Oh, yeah.
other. And because it's for the fire police, there's like a fire truck between the two buildings. And it's got a cherry picker because they upgraded from the ladder models because the cherry pickers were fancier and cost a little less, actually. So you all are going to see each other as
Nice.
you're headed for breakfast or for the antique market.
I would like to say that nice cat. I really need to word out Leslie as cat.
Oh, and Cecily would be super down because she's never actually had gal pals before. Yeah. So she's going to be really excited. And this is something that she actually knows a lot about because she loves quirky parts of American history as well as most types of history.
All right. No, go for it. Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say probably since everyone knows about my my love of Brickfist, I'm assuming I probably texted our little ranger group chat that I was gonna be at the fundraiser, stuffing my face with pancakes, so they all know I'm gonna be there.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see you there.
Eddie apologizes, but they cannot make it. There is a family event happening, and they send a little frowny face because they do not want. They'd rather be anywhere other than the place that they're going to be. But it's like one of those like grandmama's having her 93rd birthday type of thing, and like anywhere but that, even for it, no matter what kind of teen you are, universally, that is just yeah. But Jane and Cecily, Brick and Quentin are going for pancakes. I mean, you can get into pancakes if you want, or you could just go right to the antique fair. Or if you guys like the antique fair is like you can smell corn dogs. There are going to be corn dogs at the antique fair, Quentin. So you could forego pancakes if you really wanted.
Do you think all do breakfast together, or should we breakfast together and then go antiquing together? If
Sure, sounds fun having a whole group do this.
Yeah, I have a feeling that after, so I don't know if we are. I don't know if we're going to be playing Brickfist later, but if this is happening in succession, I can imagine you guys walking around the antique fair and me just lagging behind,
So full of pancakes.
holding my stomach, like just
So much breakfast.
And also, there's like the smell of corn dogs and lemonade because there's like a $3 combo at the antique fair. So it's not just. I'm actually gonna have you do a snag on a roll coming up because you're so like you overindulge in pancakes. So I'm gonna give you a snag
The next thing we
for the
do.
carb load for the more than carb load than you need.
Carb overload.
Oh
What's
man.
what's really nice is that even though this is a little bit of a gentrified part of the city, so it was like an old factory that was taken over. These are really beautiful brick style buildings with really nice big windows that let light, but they still have their factory AC, so they keep relatively cool. They have pretty similar layouts. So one is more of a diner with like the classic red diner booth. So you get like a it almost feels like you're having breakfast on a really busy movie set. It's a lot of fun. And the antique market, they did used to have access to a crow's nest and catwalk system, but they had to get rid of that because it was not safe and teenagers were always finding their way up to the crow's nest and the catwalk. So they had to actually just demolish that part of Angel Grove history because it was
Oh
just not
no.
safe. And you couldn't
I would
keep the
have loved that
teenagers.
catwalk.
It's true. And you can still see some of the parts of it, but there's just no way to get to them. And it makes you a little sad on the inside. For anybody that's like jazz bands or trumpet, they do have a jazz trumpet like combo band just hanging out in the corner playing a whole bunch of tunes.
That's
Like
so
Nice.
delightful.
it's super festive. Like
Yeah.
it's like a block party type deal. Everything but balloons. And what's really great is that there are so many tables. There are just tables and rows of people selling things, car parts, old film cameras, creepy porcelain dolls, mirrors, people that buy stuff and then try to fix it up to make it look like other things, like on that HGTV show, except it's not as good sometimes. Is anybody looking for anything in particular at the antique fair?
I know. Would I be able to make for the pancake part? Be able to do a persuasion roll to see how much money I was able to bring to the
For
firefighters
money, I will give you
as I canvassed the neighborhood the night before.
I will
See what I
give
could raise.
you give me a survival roll.
A survival. All right.
Because I'm doing this as a hunting. So give me a survival roll to see how much money you made. Give me that with an edge, actually, because it's a
Okay.
pretty neat thing to do. People respond to both. Give me with an edge.
Still fail. All right.
Oh.
I got an 8.
Well,
My
you
persuasion's a D6. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah. So it's you have classic pancakes, but they come with like 4 types of syrup. So like you could have butter pecan pancakes, and then boysenberry pancakes, and then maple pancakes,
Mhm.
and then like the fourth one is like a fancy butterscotch maple syrup. But you can't really tell the difference between butterscotch and maple for it, but they tell you it's butterscotch. So like
I'll
there's
probably go with the boysenberry most of the time. Probably has more nutrients in it.
it's like it gives you like a strawberry shortcake type deal. Actually, it's very refreshing. So
If I can, with one of the helpings of pancakes, could I just decide not to have syrup on it and see if I can pocket some of it, like in a bag or a Ziploc or something?
I'm gonna,
Sleight
let's
of hand.
say
Try to smuggle some out.
the waitress sees you and offers you a to-go box. I'm not gonna have you roll for that.
I would love a to-go box. Thank you.
They give you one so you can put like 3 pancakes away, but it's not like a thing where you're gonna be able to.
Oh, yeah.
About, like
That's
there's no
fine.
leaning tower of to-go box.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Whatever
Um,
I could, take back and have for dinner or lunch later.
Yeah, we'll see how that works for you. So is anyone besides Brick who is struggling under the weight of their weight in pancakes? Anyone looking for anything at the antique fair?
Cecily's looking for a present for her parents. Just something interesting to bring back. They kind of collect weird little doodads, things that are funny, things a little bit off, a little bit quirky. So
Oh.
she keeps her eyes open for that kind of thing.
When you get closer, and I will tell you when, there is a person selling remade cuckoo clocks, like German style cuckoo clocks.
Oh, that is right up our alley.
So we'll see when we get there. We'll see if you notice them.
On our last move, when I moved here, and my mom was overseas, she had a lot of our stuff. She was going to storage. And one of the things she had was really nice little antique looking style jewelry box that got broken. See if
Well, you make it more than you bargained for. Rick and Quentin, give me an alertness roll.
Right. I know Quentin, now going to an antique place, might actually try to find something as like a dish or something for the cat that seems to be hanging around his house.
There's lots of that. There are so many
So
people
he's just
trying to hawk
keeping
off
his eye
dishes.
out for that sort of thing.
You got a 13 on alertness from Brick. Quentin, give me an alertness to see if you notice that you got a
15.
15. Just a moment before Brick notices, you notice Latour Finn is there, the guy from the spice supply shop,
Oh,
and
the
he
weird
is
guy.
selling apothecary jars that are empty. He's doing some readings, and he's just there hanging out, being friendly. If you go up to his table, he'll acknowledge you, but he's not like flagging you down or anything.
I think I'm gonna avoid him at the moment. Still unsure of his intentions and his connection to this possible shadow grid.
Okay, that's fair. While you were trying to avoid him, you bump into Bulk, who is carrying a box, and Skull is right. Actually, so for some reason, Skull actually managed to talk Bulk into carrying the box himself instead of making Skull do it. But Skull is right behind and to the side of Bulk, and the box tinkles a little bit as you kind of bump into them, and he tells you to stay out of his way, and gives you kind of like a "don't tell anyone I was here" sort of.
Tinkles as in it's got a lot of glass things in it.
Do you want to inquire further?
Sure, I'll take a look at bulk and be like, all right, yeah, I won't mention to anybody. You need help carrying that?
Give me a streetwise.
Streetwise.
Cecily, what was the alertness roll for?
Thought it was for looking for the cuckoo clocks.
Oh, that's coming later. That's not yet.
Sorry.
Ooh,
Ignore
no,
me.
that was not good.
You get a
Not
5.
good for Quentin.
Bulk doesn't like hit you with the box, but he's very much trying to be anywhere. Like he was antiquing for him is not a masculine thing, and he's trying so hard to have this like super masculine macho image, and he's failing so hard. And yeah, so Rick, do you want to go over and talk to Latour? Have either of you mentioned to Jane or Cecily who Latour is?
Well, I don't think I ever met him. I don't think I was
Were you
involved.
not?
Yeah, it was,
with-
Okay, you weren't.
Yeah, Quentin
Yeah.
and Eddie were the one that really met
So-
him. I probably would have mentioned it at least a little bit to Brick over pancakes this morning, and
Yeah, I
my
don't know.
suspicions between him and the whole, newly found shadow thing, and I don't know if he's good or bad or not or somewhere in between. I don't.
I just figured that like after that happened, we all kind of like told each other like what we experienced. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why
Yeah.
I brought him up. But
Yeah.
I never actually ran into the guy.
So, Jane or Cecily, you've heard about Latour now, at least over breakfast, if not before. Does anyone want to go over and talk to him? While Quentin is being accosted by Bulk and looking for a tiny thing for the cat that is living in his yard.
Yellowy.
I
That's his.
Yellowy. I think Cecily's gonna go up and talk to him because she's used to some quirky merchants in her day. So maybe she'll see if everybody's just being a little bit oversensitive, and maybe he's just a weirdo, like a nice weirdo.
I just didn't know if we knew what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you
Like,
can't
to
miss
be
him.
like, yo, that's the
Yeah.
guy I was talking about. You know what I mean?
His kind of rogue-esque silver streak in the center of his hair is very unique. I want Quentin, give me
Yeah.
a culture roll.
All right.
I would be down to talk to him, but
Let's see how Quentin does.
Ooh, 13.
So, you read something else in the Morphin lore grid about ancestry that wasn't immediately clear to you, but it said something about ley lines resonating to grid sensitive people. And you remember that everything that Latour said and did for you
Yeah.
had to do with ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
And much like Zordon himself, the lore is infuriatingly apocryphal and not elucidating at the moment. But so it's not unheard of. It's at least heard of enough to go into a book.
Right. So he might have or know of said missing page.
He might
Is the
even know
feeling
there's
right?
a book. It's hard to say. But he
No,
extends
my
his arms.
curiosity might be getting better.
He extends his arms when people come over to his table and go, "Hey, welcome to Spice Side Supply Shop. The sequel." And he just kind of gestures to his tarot cards and empty apothecary jars and go, "How are you doing today, kid?" Can't complain. It's a beautiful day. Just out here doing some readings and selling some jars. The universe decided I was supposed to stick around Angel Grove for a little while, so just enjoying my time.
All right. Still got that tea that you made?
Oh yes, they told me I couldn't bring the tea anymore. People were rushing my table, and so I had to like leave the tea in the shop. But like, I've got the
Okay.
tea. Just come over to Restaurant Row anytime you want. I'll make you up your own special brew.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
I
Latour
really
looks
want
at
to
you.
try it.
Latour looks at you, Cecily, and goes, "Hmm, definitely tea drinker. You're no. Oh yeah, you take tea at night. Jasmine calms your mind.
Ah, I love a jasmine white tea before I go to sleep.
I can tell you have a very active mind. Much appreciated. Some drawbacks to it, but it's always good to have an active mind."
Brick is just kind of like looking at Latour, just kind of like staring at him, like squinty-eyed, just you know.
Latour winks at you when he notices that you're looking at him. Just kind of winks at you.
Hey, you're that Latoad guy, right?
Latour Finn at your service. Latour's a new one though. That's pretty good.
Quentin was telling us that you know about the morphing grid.
Sounds fun. Is it like an arcade game or something?
Yeah, it's an arcade game. Have you heard of the expansion pass Shadow of the Morphing Grid?
Latour just shakes his head and he like shuffles his tarot cards and he turns one over and he puts down the tower card. And the tower card has a pink falcon on top of it and goes, now, and then just shuffles it back into his deck.
Man, what is with all these galaxy hopping freaks that just talk in riddles? I say under my breath. I don't think anyone, I hope no one hears me.
I think you need some jasmine tea too, and maybe not so many pancakes. You look like you're in pain there.
Yeah. You might need some sort of tea with ginger or something to help his stomach.
Stop by Restaurant Row this afternoon. I'm open. It's what I do. I do readings. I do all kinds of dried herbs and teas. I even do parchment, ink, and quill for people that prefer writing letters. I used to do wax seals, but it's very hard to get wax seals, and we're having a lot of supply issues. But I used to be able to do the wax. I can still do wax, but I got a guy for candles, so I don't make my own candles.
Am I making up the fact that we know that he has a connection to the grid?
You're assuming it, but he's not telling you that he doesn't. Like he's not.
But like he disclosed that
Yeah.
he disclosed that to them,
about it.
didn't they?
He disclosed that there were ley lines, and he knew about Rita, but it was kind of like he only knows it in terms of ley lines. Like the words morphin grid don't mean anything, essentially. Like he just knows you're trying to pull information out of him, and he's very amused.
Right. Okay.
Like
I
he's
just didn't know if
very
I
much
wasn't supposed to know that.
yeah.
I could have sworn he said.
Well, I think
he
it
said
still
something
makes
about the grid
sense
before.
because I know he spoke about everything in ley lines and everything in those terms, but it still seemed the whole time like he was talking about the Morphin grid as though he knew about it, and he was just being cheeky about not calling it by that name. So that probably was how Quentin translated it to you.
When
So,
season
my
one
question
is
probably still
over, I'll tell you exactly who Latour is. But for now, you're going to need to keep guessing. If anybody wants to give me a persuasion check to see how honest he's being, now's the time to give me a persuasion check.
I will definitely do that.
And then after you give me a persuasion check, Jane and Cecily, give me an alertness roll.
Let's do it.
Hey, me and Brick got the same C's.
Your 14 persuasion, he's not screwing with you. He's not evil. He's just not telling you everything.
I don't think he's evil. I just think I don't know. I think whatever.
If he knows something, he'd be amused to know that he knew something. But Cecily and Jane, while you are talking with Latour, you hear music. Not coming from the combo band, not from the people that have a pinball machine in the back. You remember in Restaurant Row when there was the little creepy doll things that were in porcelain? You're hearing that music again from a
Oh.
couple rows away.
Well, I have to investigate it.
This means that if you decide to investigate right away, you're not going to find the cuckoo clock, but you might still find the jewelry box. You still want to investigate right away?
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna look for the thing that we're following, just because I feel like we've been trying to figure out what's been going on with this for a little bit.
Does anyone want to ask Latour if they hear it, or does anyone want to say anything else to Latour, or like the guys are going to keep trying to figure out what Latour knows while the girls go off to deal with the evil music sounds from the Restaurant Row episode?
Well, we can all hear the music, right?
I had Jane and Cecily do an alertness because it's the same tune. So unless they perform the tune for you, you wouldn't know the same tune. Jane and Cecily, you can decide. Do you tell Rick and Quentin?
If Jane hears it, she would have asked. She would, especially at Cecily, and asked, "Do you hear that?"
I do.
Hear
And
what? What are you guys talking?
It's that same noise, isn't it? That same the doll, the really creepy doll. Remember? Is that?
You're hearing a creepy doll sound?
There was a creepy doll, and we tried to investigate, but we were told it was only for kids.
Cecily, Latour passes you the Three of Cups tarot card and goes, "That's yours." For people that don't know, tarot, Three of Cups is a card about togetherness and a card about working as a team for a goal. Cups are always good cards to get, generally speaking. This one specifically is about.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna know what that means because I feel like Cecily has got a pretty deep understanding of tarot. So she's gonna be like, "Well, this means we should all stick together," in my opinion.
All right.
I feel like we should.
I am
Quentin,
captivated,
anything
and I
now?
do want to know.
All right, Latoad, you're off the hook for now, but I'm watching you.
Are you saying that if I mess with the bull, I get the horns? And then Latour just like starts laughing. Like, roll me an intimidation with a snag because you're full of pancake and Latour's not intimidated by very much.
4.
Oh, you had good hustle at the field day thing, but maybe try less pancakes next time before you start trying to intimidate people.
Yeah, it's hard to do that when you're on a mix of a sugar
I'm just
high
letting you know
and a
you're on my
coma.
radar.
Why, thank you.
You're on my radar, Latoad. I will not be forgetting you.
Latour is like, thank you, I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, let's go find these creepy dolls.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not dolls. Coming to the end of a row, getting close to the music, Jane, you do see someone selling antique jewelry boxes. Trouble is, the music starts up again, and you... what did you come here for? You were looking for something. What was it? Give me a persuasion to see if you can remember what you're looking for. Well, you were looking for a box of some kind, and this music is coming from music boxes. There's a whole like table full of them, a couple things down. As you're getting closer to the music, like all you can think about are these music boxes. They look really cool, Jane. Like you really want one. And that's also about the time you realize these music boxes are right next to where Bulk and Skull have delivered another box to Bulk's mom. And Bulk's mom looks like Bulk, but if Bulk had any joy and zest for life, like she looks like the kind of mom that has like a plate of oatmeal chocolate chip cookies waiting for you at the door and should be followed by birds. Like everything about Bulk that's trying not to be joyful is Bulk's mom. Like there's like a twinkle in her eye, and she's selling wind chimes, which is the tinkle that you heard in the box, Quentin. And Bulk looks like he's dying of secondhand embarrassment, but he's also eyeing the music boxes. Everyone give me persuasion. Well,
10.
got a 10 from Quint.
3.
Brick, what's your favorite song? Or like your favorite album, favorite band? I'm not doing a jock scam music box. Like, give me like an AC/DC or like a Doors or.
Sure. Brick's favorite song is "You Spin Me Right Round." What's that song?
There's a music box that plays "You Spin Me Round," and it's spinning you right round right now. You're having trouble of thinking of anything but this music box. Quentin, I mean, it's nice, but it's a music box. It's kind of weird. Like people are starting to get like a look in their eyes. Cecily, how did you do on your persuasion roll?
I got a 9.
Okay, you got a 9. There is one that has like a super rare magical, and it has like a little Grecian statue on top of it. And it's one of your, it's like the madrigal that your mom used to hum to you as a child to get you to calm down. And so there is a woman tending the stall. She has a pulled back hair in a bun, and she's of Asian descent. And she goes, "Hello, my name is Elvis. My parents were big fans of American rock and roll, and they passed it on to me." And she extends her arms out. "And now I live my dream to craft music boxes for all, so they may have the music of their youth. Are you thinking about buying today? I have a special going on. And if you rolled a 9 or below, you desperately want one of these music boxes. And you would do pretty much anything to get them."
Okay. Out of like our own, like we're just like enamored by them.
It seems like it was crafted especially for you. There's one for you, Cecily, that has that magical tune that you really love from your childhood. Rick, there's a music box that plays "You Spin Me Right Round," and it's spin you right round.
Is it? Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. I guess I go up to the. I guess I frantically grab the box and then run up to Elvis.
As
And I
you grab the box, Skull is right behind you, and you and Skull crash into each other. And the moment that box drops, something happens. You're not quite sure what, but like maybe it's the pancakes. You feel a little weak for a moment, and you weren't sure you caught this. For a brief second, it seemed like Skull's eyes flashed pink. It's very, very strange, and like your brain is like not connecting to it. You just know that the thing that you wanted broke. But Elvis says, "Oh well, accidents happen," but bends down and picks up the little thing that was on top of it, the little emblem that was on top of this "You Spin Me Right Round" music box of like a little record spinning around. Hands it to you and goes, "Accidents happen. I will give you this. I will give you this little keepsake for free." But yeah, I'm gonna have everybody roll me culture, and except for Brick, don't roll culture because you broke the music box. That was yours. Quentin, you buy a
21.
music box with your 21.
All right.
Cecily, you buy a music box with your 21. Roll culture for me. You don't. Like, there is like a woman that jostles you away from the table, and you don't buy a music box. And it feels like, as you make this purchase or you don't, it feels like it's time to go. You don't know why you're feeling this way, but you feel this way. If you suddenly recall, "Oh, I want to get an antique box," or "Oh, I want to get a cuckoo clock." But as you head for that direction, as you all head toward the exit or toward other aisles or something, sound of the music boxes go over the air. They're like the intercom system, and everyone that bought a music box falls asleep.
Oh.
And this is
no.
everyone in the building, and the Rangers that bought a music box fall asleep. And that, okay, so who bought a music box?
Cecily did.
And Quentin did.
Quentin, and then Brick, yours broke, and Jane, you didn't. Brick and Jane, you hear this. Cecily and Quentin, you don't because you fainted. Rangers, there has been a short-range spell enacted at your location. Aye, 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 sleeping spell magic. It's seems to have also hit the diner next door. All those breakfast foods. And Zordon goes, calm yourself, Alpha. Rangers, are you all right?
Brick and I are. Quentin and Cecily are. They just fell asleep, I hope, is what's.
Did anyone else fall asleep, or was it just you?
It seems like everyone around us has kind of fallen under a sleep spell.
That's what I said, Zordon. Aye, it's sleep spell magic. And Zordon goes, keep your wits about you, Rangers. This is likely a spell enacted by Rita. You are protected by your power coin, and now in turn you must effectively protect those while we reverse the spell. Brick and Jane, give me an alertness roll. 21.
7.
7. Jane, Elvis, the lady working the booth, is also asleep. And while you contemplate that, for those who have fallen into the sleeping realm, Cecily and Quentin, you both wake up in a room that is dark and foggy and endless. It makes you feel nearly weightless, as if you were like, you could jump up and you were like wearing moonbound shoes. And it's all dark except for the edges of the room. There are a whole bunch of faces that are just lining the edge of the room, and you hear a female voice. Give me an alertness roll.
9.
13.
The reason you got 9, Quentin, is because she didn't talk to you for very long. Cecily, you recognize the voice as the ghost that asked you if you were happy. And she goes, welcome, friend. And it's a woman in gray sitting on a throne.
Who are you?
Is Cecily here with me, or are we both like in our own
You're
room?
both together.
We are
You,
together.
everyone, everything else is the woman on the throne and then faces.
Okay.
Just a big empty room. You've just been so welcome, and you're both here together.
Yeah. What do you want, Gray Lady?
Great lady. How rude. You could ask my name.
I asked, who are you?
Well, I was waiting until you're both awake. My name is Elvestris. Welcome to the Shadow Realm.
Velstress?
Elvestris.
Elevestris.
Something like that. You're very close.
Consunte. Right.
And who might you be? Just give me your name. That's all I ask.
I don't know if we should. I feel like this is a trap of some kind. I feel like nothing here is right.
Now a trap. Is that any way to talk to a friend?
A friend. Are you sure about that? Because I'm not getting friendly vibes. Friends don't take friends to different realms without consent.
Yeah, I'm just getting a creepy vibe. That's all I'm getting.
Elvestris pouts and go, we're not friends? That seems such a shame. Because to my enemies, I do this. And a barricade of gray rock stalactites come up from the floor and enclose you both in like a cage.
Oh no.
Oh,
All right.
oh, pets of Zordon. Oh, you could do so much. We could have been such nice friends, such good friends. But now you're stuck in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah,
What
this
you-
isn't stuff friends do.
Yeah,
Just saying.
we were just getting to know each other. So that's why I said we weren't friends yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
we just felt like this place was creepy, and now you're trapping us. So you're just proving our point.
there are many different types of friendship. And the type of friendship I can offer you is this. And Elvestris creates these bubbles from her hand, and 2 bubbles float to you, and a whole bunch of bubbles float along the wall. And Quentin, you see yourself in the future that you really want. And Cecily, you see the same, but for yourself. And I want you to think about that kind of future you want for yourself, and what would make you truly happy as we go back to the waking world. Now, a few minutes have passed, and Jane, Brick, what you doing? A whole bunch of people are asleep except for you.
I think Jane and I are kind of like, we've moved Quentin and Cecily to like, we've probably dragged them like behind, we're probably dragging them somewhere safe, and are trying to find ways to help the other people that have like probably fallen on the ground sleeping.
Are you trying to wake anyone up?
I'm at least shaking them as I'm like kind of checking them out just to see if they wake up. And I turn to Jane and I'm like, yeah, everyone's out. No one's responding to anything. You think this has something to do with Rita?
I the only one sleeping by a box, or anybody else?
There was a a sleeping spell, and if they didn't buy a music box, they ran. Like
Okay.
they booked it, assuming it was like Captain Trips or something from like the stand. When you live in Angel Grove as a non-powered NPC citizen, when something weird like this happens, it's just good grooming almost to run and just to bolt and not look back. And so you are attempting to shake people awake, trying to wake people up. You're checking pulses potentially. Everyone's just asleep, and you both turn your back for a moment, and then you look, and in the parking lot, there is a giant sombrero wearing cactus that appears, and it is definitely taunting and laughing at you. It is dragging sand as it walks, and it didn't anticipate anyone being awake. So when it sees you, it makes this really weird noise that kind of sounds like a hyena laugh. And I'm going to have you two roll me initiative.
10.
So, oh, all right. Brick, re-roll your initiative because you got the same as the monk.
3.
And Brick gets a 3. Okay, so there is a cactus monster in the parking lot, and there are no doors on this antique fair, so they're like right there. What would you like to do, Jane?
James, I don't want this monster getting any closer to leaving us. I would rather be.
A couple people in the parking lot asleep, but it's essentially in the parking lot, so you're just kind of running for it.
How close is the
Maybe 30 feet, but it's really not paying any attention to them right now.
video?
Great.
I'm gonna run up and just kind of yell at it. You don't belong here. We're not gonna let you hurt these people. You need to just go back to your 9.
You got 9. It comprehended like every other word of that, and unfortunately, because it's its turn and you're within its reach, it's going to try to whap you with its needle-pointed arms, I guess, for lack of better terminology. We'll see. So it's not hitting you too hard, like you're not going to lose a point of health or anything. But Jane, you're pushed back 5 feet.
Okay.
This is a beefy cactus. This is a hefty cactus. Frick! Jane just got pushed by a giant sombrero wearing cactus.
Jane, are you okay? Oh, man. Thorn breath here looks like they're going to be a problem. We should probably morph. All right. Let's do it.
Alright.
Pink Falcon power. Go.
That doesn't work, Rick.
No. Okay. All right. Pink Falcon power. Go. And then it doesn't work. So I look at it and I go, not again. Who are you and what do you want with us, these people?
Brick, give me an alertness.
6. I am not good.
I'm right there with you.
Still,
We're on
you're
the same
still-
page today.
You're still heavy from the pancake, but because you're in a harrowing situation, just a few minutes ago, Gold's eyes did flash pink for a couple seconds. Yeah, so you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling it, and you realize not just the pancakes, but we're back at the top of the round, Jane, the beefy cactus. You haven't morphed yet. You can try if you'd like. It doesn't actually say in the book. Roll me a culture, and if you get a 12 or higher, I will let you do that. 15, I will let you morph, but you have to give me like a Sailor Moon battle cry before you do it. Like, get into it, kind of thing.
So Jane gets pushed back by this giant sombrero wearing cactus. She hears Brick come back behind her. I don't know if she noticed whether or not he was able to not. But she's assuming that he is also listening. So she kind of like gives this roar, like big tiger T-Rex like yell and holds out her hand and says, "Red Tyranno power morph."
And indeed, it was morphing time. Jane morphs beautifully with red Electro Thunder. I don't know if Brick is jealous or not, but Jane, you are morphed and you got.
I ended up pulling out my grappler and how big is
This sombrero wearing cactus is large. It doesn't quite tower over you, but like it's taller than Brick, and Brick is very tall. So
it look like bulky?
it's beefy. Like
It is beefy. Okay.
it takes something to move you back. You have military training in your background. Like you know how to center yourself. It was able to push you back like nothing.
I'm gonna pull out my grappler and kind of like swing it around and try to like almost like try to swing it.
Use that grappler as a baseball bat upside the head of the cat.
22.
You do it, and some sparks fly off of it. It goes back 5 feet, but except for a little bit of smoke, it doesn't seem damaged. And you hear it speak, and it says, "That wasn't very nice." And it's going to attempt to hit you with needles. I'm gonna roll to hit you with needles, and then the score needs to be lower than your evasion. What is your evasion?
My evasion is
15. Yeah, I mean, they're giant cartoon needles, but ow, you were very close. Another hit like that, and you're definitely going to lose a health.
Do I lose anything?
Not right now.
I'm gonna yell back about
And as soon as the needles hit the floor, they disappear too, which is not great visually speaking. Brick. Jane just got hit with some cartoon needles from a giant cactus-wielding sombrero in the parking lot of this antique fair, just to give you perspective. And it is your turn.
Right. Hey, Jane, do you think you can handle Needle Nose for a while?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know if we saw Skull when we were checking the bodies in there?
I don't know.
Zordon, did we see Skull when
did
we
we
were
see
checking
Skull?
the bodies in there?
Give me an alertness roll.
Let's see if I saw.
I'll let you roll for that, because that 5 is a fumble. You know you do have story points, so you could re-roll that fumble if you wanted to. And they accrue, but like eventually you can only spend one a scene. So like
Okay, all right, fine. I will spend it.
there you go. Don't hoard them. This isn't a video game. Use your story points. They make it more fun.
I'll be honest, I forgot. Wow. Nope.
Okay. No, well, luckily for you, Jane
Did see Skull.
did see Skull, and Skull is around where the music box stuff was, because he hadn't gotten very far, because he was still helping Bulk, and Bulk's not helping so much. So is your plan to run in and...
Well, I have to find
Find
him,
Skull?
right? Because he bumped into me, so he somehow, because I held the Uziwat, the little trinket thing, and I bumped into him, he has my powers now.
Does he? I don't know. Do you
Oh
want
my
to find
God.
him? Do you want to try something else?
Okay.
It's your choice. I'm not going to tell
yeah.
you what to do.
Right, I know you're not. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't want to leave Jane alone because I don't want her to. I'm afraid she might get hurt by this guy.
I got this.
Okay. I
Maybe.
can't morph. I think it has something to do with I bumped into Skull and his eyes were pink, and I don't know. I just got to find him.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run back into the place and see if I can find Skull. What do you want me to roll for this?
We're going to go back to the dream realm, shadow realm, whatever I'm calling it. So we're going to say that you're searching, and I'll have you do that roll. When we return to the land
When we
of the
come back.
living,
Gotcha.
when we come back. So it's not just are you happy, Quentin, Cecily. What do you want out of life? Now, this bubble, give me a culture roll, both of you.
Will do. I got a 14.
Did you get a culture roll, Quentin?
Yeah, 6.
So, Quentin, well, this bubble kind of offering you everything you want and everything that through your scholarship to putting you on the road forward. What's in your bubble, Quentin? What are you envisioning for your life that you want? Even things you haven't necessarily told other people. If it's just you want a high paying job with lots of money and security. What's in this bubble? What is this bubble offering you?
Probably something along the lines of what you described with. I can't think of exactly what the job would be, but definitely one that has a decent amount of security and has it so that he can make enough money to still provide for his parents and himself.
So you have a really cool suit and you carry a briefcase and you are working in a very important building in downtown Angel Grove. There is no yellow in that suit, Quentin. I'm going to give you that even with your suit, is that it is a black and white suit, black car, gray building. But I mean, security is a real thing people need. I mean, people say you don't need it, but if you don't have it, you know how important it can be.
Yeah.
And you love your parents so much. I mean, you could, the bubble. Maybe she made stalactites come out of nowhere, right? Could easily, you could have what you want in the bubble. Cecily, what's in your bubble? What do you want?
I think Cecily wants to be able to make her family proud, but also be able to do something that's fulfilling. So if it's doing stuff through the Ren Fair, or if it's studying history and becoming a sort of tour guide, that's like her future would be like her being content in like the development of what she's doing.
You can smell the jasmine tea more than see anything else. The smell of fresh cut grass, this sense. But with your 14, I'm going to let you know that you can tell this is BS. And this bubble is telling you exactly what your heart wants it to say. You don't have words for it, but this bubble's telling you what you want to hear.
Okay. Well, am I in the same like area? Like I'm still next to Quentin, right? Like we're not separated?
No, you're in a cage trap thing together.
Okay. I'm going to grab his wrist and I'm going to go, they're telling you what you want to hear. It's all gilded. It's not real.
But it could be, right?
No, they're trying to trick you.
Quentin, give me a culture roll.
All right, there we go. 15.
Shadow of the Morphin grid. What's the shadow to light? What's the shadow to truth?
Yeah, lies and gray.
There
That's
you
all
go.
this is.
You can believe the lie. There's nothing to say that Elvestris can't make it happen.
No, nothing in life comes this easy. No, this is definitely a lie.
And she's going to like squeeze his wrist to like let him know that he's getting it.
All right.
Well, there are other bubbles out there, and you are stuck in this cage. But Elvestris is looking at you, as if awaiting a response.
Hey, Avestris, right? Did I say it right that time?
Hello, said correctly. You can call me whatever you'd like. How do you like the bubbles?
I feel like the bubble is a lie.
There are many different ways to tell lies, many different ways to tell truth. You doubt
There's
that I
really
could
only one way to tell the truth.
Oh, see, that's how I know. You're a pet of Zordon. Everything is so black and white to you. Nothing is gray, nothing at all.
No, there's gray in the world, sure. But if you're going to tell the truth, there's the truth, and that's it.
I could still give you this. Everything you see in the bubble could be yours.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then you could easily take it away any moment you wanted. I mean, you don't seem like that stable of a person, to be honest.
You think Zordon wouldn't do that to you? Do you think you're so special?
Special? Maybe not, but I'd rather put my faith in Zordon than some creepy lady that has me trapped in some stalagmite dream realm thing.
There's a high peal of laughter, and she goes, well, like me or not, you are still trapped, and you'll be here until you say yes and hand over your communication device and your power coin.
So that's the price.
That's
Gotcha.
That's not happening.
All right. Well, I guess I'll look to build a summer home here.
Voice of the GM. I haven't said that you can't morph, so I'm just letting you know that it's
That's
an
a very
option
good point.
if you are looking for things to do. Just so we're not here for another hour while you try to jigsaw your way out of this. I have
Oh my
not
gosh.
made any proclamations about your ability to use your power coin yourself. It's just Elvestris is offering
Yeah.
you the world for your power coin, and you're just communicating.
Well, I say it's Morphin time.
Oh, someone said the thing! It only took you guys 7 episodes to finally say it!
I
Oh,
just, I
I
think
mean,
it's
it was a
Morphin.
good moment to say it.
it's a good moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The
Take a
perfect
story
moment.
point for its Morphin time.
Just feel like we always like start out like unmorph, like we're always like separated before we morph, and there's never really a good time to like do it all at once, and nobody ever morphs at the same time. It's like,
Well, finally somebody said it was Morphin time. That's
Well-
all that I wanted
All
out of
right.
it.
Because Cecily wants to morph, and she's gonna give it a shot.
Okay. You don't have any limitations on Morphin.
Okay, well, it's magical girl, blue unicorn time, blue unicorn power, and all of the various sparkles and swirls around her as she appears and emerges in her blue ranger uniform if she's able to morph.
Yeah, you are, and Elvestris just kind of blinks at you and goes, "Yeah,
That's going to be offensive to Cecily. She's very proud of her morphing sequence. There's a lot of
Well,
theatricality in that.
she'll give you like a pity golf clap. Just be like, yeah, pity golf clap for the Blue Ranger."
So
And then she's
hurtful.
going to look at Quentin and be like, "Are you going to leave me hanging?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Please."
Yellow saber-tooth power. Sorry, I was a little late on that one. And he'll.
Oh no, 2 Rangers trapped in a cage. Whatever shall I do? Elvestris is not.
Hey, these are just stalagmites around us, right? Stalactites, whatever.
Yeah, we can like.
So
look
the
them.
top is open. Does she know? Does she realize that? I don't think she realizes that.
Do you want to try to scale those stalag?
I would love to try and scale those.
Whichever one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me.
Depending on how high they are, can I just jump them?
Give me athletics.
All right. Yes, 19.
Yeah, here's the thing. Quentin, you notice this before Cecily does. When you try to jump, they grow with you.
Dang it. Can we whack them?
You want to try to whack them?
I'm down to whack.
What would you like to use to whack them?
My power sword.
Okay.
What if we
Uh,
just tried to will them to be shorter? This is a dream realm, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Can we like imagine that they're smaller? Excellent idea, Quentin.
My brain works, some of the time.
Cecily just wants to whack things. I just always want to. If I see
Right.
something, I want to stab it. Like I can't help myself.
Give
I'll take
me-
another little sidestep away from Cecily there.
Because this is a dream realm, I want you to give me the skill that you're most proud of, the skill you're most confident in, and the skill that matters to you that you have.
Cecily is going to choose might because she has a really high thing in it. And I think that like it means a lot
That's
to her that
great.
she's like a girl that can kick your butt.
You took a heart out of a putty.
I did. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
very strong. It's my thing. Okay, and that's what I'm going to
Good.
roll. And I
You
got a
got might.
24.
Got a 24.
Nice.
Quentin, Cecily doesn't just hit the stalagmite. There's like a force behind it, and she busts open the cage that you're in.
Well done. Remind me not to, get you mad on an off day.
Would you like to
mean-
do anything, Quentin?
I will do persuasion then, which is a fail.
Who were you
With a
trying
9.
to persuade?
I think my idea, especially at that point, was I would just talk to Cecily and be like, "Yeah, you got this." And just go ahead and hit that one.
But is there anything? So, Cecily, you've basically opened the door. What's the next move for either?
Can we just will our way out of here?
Talk to me about that.
Like, am I able to visualize the like different realms? Like I could like, since I know that I'm in a dream realm and I now know
Just-
that I can control things with my brain, am I able to actively feel my real presence and like be able to manipulate that so that I can go back to our realm?
Give me alert.
You want me to do alertness as well?
Would you have had the same thought?
Oh, I gotta-
my
I'm gonna
thought is
re-roll.
to try to will myself to wake up.
I got a 5,
not
but
necessarily reach out to our realm, but just will myself to wake up.
So Cecily, that's a 5. That nothing
Nope,
happened.
I re-rolled.
Oh, you
I
re-rolled?
re-rolled. I used a story point.
Okay, used a story point.
Nice.
So that 20, looking around the room, you know how Latour talked about ley lines? Do you have any connection to ley lines? Does Cecily have any idea what ley lines are?
I do because I definitely have some like wacky aunts and uncles that are a little bit on the mystic side of things. So they'll talk about that kind of stuff. I do have like some Celtic heritage, so that's something that's a little bit in like Celtic mythology and lore that's pretty important. So it's something that she would know about.
So Cecily and Quentin, go ahead and roll a culture roll for me to try to will yourself awake.
All right.
Cecily, the people, the faces, a couple of them are getting a little more shadowy than others, and those bubbles are hovering very closely. But all of these people are connected and linked and making sort of like a fence. And I'm going to give you this with a 20. A couple of those faces were definitely at the antique fair. And 19,
Yes.
Quentin, your culture roll, your grid lore roll, this is a shadowy dreamland. And for you to get out of a shadow realm will take something
Like
extraordinary that only you could do. Unfortunately, with a 19, the difficulty on that is very high. You don't know what exactly that it is you need to do yet, but you haven't done it quite yet, but you're getting there. But Cecily, you've noticed all the people are connected, and there are definitely at least a couple of familiar things.
Is there a way I can sever this connection?
You can always try. How would you like to try that?
Are they like able to communicate with me, or are they just kind of stuck in this state?
Give me a culture roll.
18.
Yeah, there's like 3 bubbles hovering around this one face. As you get closer to it, it's Latour Finn's face.
Oh.
And the bubbles are like hovering, but Latour is just like ignoring them. It's like looking for not anything in particular, but just kind of like ignoring the bubbles that are trying desperately to get his attention.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to get his attention.
All right. I'm gonna give you this on because of the 18 you got for the culture roll. I'm gonna give you about a minute to get his attention somehow.
Okay. I'll start off with visual stimuli, some waving like this. Hello, Latour, can you see me? Like, get right up in his face, maybe move the bubbles.
Do I see Latour as well?
Are you following Cecily, or are you mounting an
She seems to
attack
be
on
the successful
Elvestris,
one
or-
so far, so I'm following Cecily and staying as a team.
Unfortunately, as you're following Cecily, wouldn't you know it, Elvestris decides to put a barrier between you two, quite literally. So
of
you get
course.
just far enough away that you have to bounce back because now there's just the lag fight. And we're gonna see. Actually, no, we're not gonna see quite yet. I want to see how this happens. Cecily, what are you trying to say to Latour?
I'm like, Latour, can you hear me? Are you able to communicate with me?
Whoa, only an angel grows. He's like half able to hear
Oh.
you. So it's not perfect.
Okay.
He seems to be amused by the situation more than in any sort of abject.
Well, at least that means that we have some sort of wavy link to the other side of things. I'm going to turn to Quentin and kind of like give like a whispered thing through the barrier, like as much as I can. As I try to, can I reach out and like shake his shoulders, Latour's?
There are no shoulders. It is
it's just
only a head.
Only a head. Can I touch his forehead?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to reach and touch his forehead to try to get his like attention.
Give me a culture roll.
8.
It's cold. Even in your suit, you can feel how cold it is. It's almost like it's a not human version of him. And we're going to go back to the waking world. Britt, you are searching. Give me a streetwise. Let's see how long it took you to find this skull.
19.
Yeah, 19. It did not take you long because there's kind of this epicenter of people that were trying to get music boxes. So a whole bunch of people fell right next to each other. So Skull is just asleep, just kind of snoring, chilling.
Can I try to wake him up? Something tells me he didn't buy a music box and he's just pretending to sleep.
You can try to wake him up. Give me a persuasion check.
Come on, Skolovich.
Wake up, will ya? Wake up.
He did buy a music box, even with your 16. He starts snoring and it has like a phlegmy noise to it, and it's not pleasant. But in that moment when you're trying to wake up, you hear a murmuring from Latour where you hear like the woe that Cecily got. And when you look over to Latour, he's got a blue dot on his forehead.
That's weird. I hope they're not stuck in some kind of shadow realm like I was that one time. That
God,
place
that'd
was
be
creepy.
awful. Who would do that? Such an awful, awful place to be.
Awful place to be. Okay. Can I pull out that little trinket thing from the music box and see if I'm like putting it on Skull and like touching his face and like trying to see if I get it, my pink energy back.
Nothing happens to Skull, but now there is like a nice top temple residue
What?
on the little thing. Nothing happens.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I go over to Latour and I'm thinking there's got to be a way. Oh, I see the blue dot on his head. I see the blue dot on his head and I poke it.
she's trying. Oh, she's trying so hard. It's a trick. It's silly. Oh, so silly. He's like
Latour?
mumbling in his sleep.
Okay.
What are the ways that people get woken up? Brick, did you ever go to like a summer camp?
Yeah, sure.
So you're a dude at a summer camp, and other dudes at summer camps tend to bring like super soakers and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You know what sucks about a super soaker in the face when you're dead asleep?
I gotta find a way to wake these people up. I look around and I'm trying to see if there's any water. Is there any water around?
There's cups of water. There's a big thing of lemonade near the corn dog stand. There's a giant fire truck outside with the hose attachment. There's water jugs hanging out for people to get complimentary water because it's the middle of summer and Angel Grove is cool like that.
I'm gonna take the lemonade and I'm gonna try and dump that on Skull's face.
Skull wakes up extremely wet and covered in lemonade and goes, "What the heck?" And he looks right. He's got kind of that like angry cat wake up thing, like you feel like you're gonna get scratched a little bit, and he's super disoriented, but is awake.
Great. Hey, Skullovich, can you do me a favor and hold this for me? And I give him the little trinket.
What
And then...
weirdo? What? Why am I wet? Why am I covered in lemonade? Solovich just takes it. But nothing happens.
Nothing happens?
Nothing happens. Hey, give me a culture roll for something that everybody knows about Skull's family. That will be helpful to you in this moment. By the way, Cecily, you're going to say this, Quentin, you're not. Solovich, one of the faces disappears from the wall, Cecily. So, Britt, this wasn't a very high difficulty. For all of Skull trying to be hardcore, his dad is a total jock and is head of the Angel Grove Fire Department. His dad's a total jock.
All right. I'm putting the pieces together. Okay, so Skull, we have to figure out a way to wake up all these people.
Why? This doesn't involve me.
Listen, look, there's something bad happening and we need to help these people, okay?
Well, there's something always bad happening. Why do we need to
Skull,
people?
okay, can you zip it for 1 second, buddy? Listen,
God, you're just like
if you help me, I promise I will do your chemistry homework next semester, okay?
We have chemistry together? Are you sure?
Listen, I need you to get in touch with your dad and I need him to bring some fire trucks down here stat.
So my dad was working at the pancake breakfast. You think my dad's asleep? And Skull runs out looking for his phone.
Awesome.
Totally helpful.
Okay. All right.
We're going to go with Jane. Jane, Skull runs by you with the speed of a cheetah, apparently. But you have to deal with this cactus thing. How's that going?
Very well. Having a productive conversation. It has decided to just leave. And that is what I'm picturing.
That's a nice thing to picture. It's going to try to smack you with its arm. It gets a 5, and so it tries to smack you, but it's not quite as strong as it was last time. And you're not sure if it's because you're morphed or maybe Skull being awake weakened it a little bit. So you can smack it back if you want instead of trying to persuade the giant cactus in a sombrero to leave the scene.
Try to pack it, and I also feel like
I would like you to do one and then the other.
I also feel like I have to be like way too
But you do have a wrist communicator. And
far.
Jane is wearing a
right. We have
helmet.
communicators.
So there is a communication avenue that I'm allowing for this.
first I'm going to try to go low in my grappler and try to see this thing out under it.
Great. Give me that might roll. Might roll if I've ever heard it before. 14. Well, it doesn't have feet. You sweep it off of its leg.
Okay.
So it tumbles backward, and it is now on the ground, wiggling around like a turtle would.
If I use my communicator to for his
He hears it in his wrist communicator. You hear it in your helmet. I've kind of fixed the communication thing because that's just what
Okay.
we're doing. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say
Brick, whatever you did in there weakened this thing, so we need to start waking people up.
I'm on it, Jane, trying to figure that out as we speak.
Gotcha. I'll keep this thing busy while you do that.
I will say you have less options in the room, Brick, because you used a lot of lemonade on Ball. There's just a raft of lemonade on the floor now, so you don't really have the lemonade option again.
I'll figure something out.
Okay, well it's your turn. So what would you like to figure out?
Oh, is it? Oh, great. Well, you told me that there were a couple cups of water around, so I'm gonna use those to try and wake up a couple people. One of them being Latour, if that's helpful, but I'm worried it might not be.
I mean, give me a targeting, and we'll see how much water you get onto Latour's face to awaken them from their slumber. And you're good at targeting, so don't try to knock their nose off with the water.
18.
2 cups of water to the face, and Cecily, you'll see this at the same time as Brick does this. Latour's face disappears, and the link of the ley lines where his face are still like together in a T shape, but his face is gone. And Latour just kind of looks up and goes, "Whoa, tricky. Hi,
Hi, Latour.
what's up? Everyone is
not
sleeping.
much.
Oh, that's a bad scene. It's a bad scene,
Yeah,
man.
it is. Hey, listen, I don't want to get too I don't want to freak you out too much, but we need to wake these people up. Do you know where we can get some more water?
I mean, there's like a fire truck out there. Got to be
Oh,
some water
there
in the
is.
fire truck, right? Like,
In the fire truck?
I
I
mean,
feel like there
that's
has
how-
to be like a.
how fire trucks work, right? I don't know
I
much
guess.
about fire trucks. Like, ask me to make tea or do like a tarot reading, but like, I don't know much about fire.
Hey, do you have any leftover tea?
They wouldn't let me bring my tea, man. Gotta pay more
Oh,
attention when
man.
people talk,
Dang.
man. Come on.
Sorry, I missed that. Cool. This was productive. I'm gonna run back outside to. Can I run back outside and towards Jane?
Sure. And as you run back outside, let's head back to
Oh, wait,
Cecily.
wait. I'm sorry.
Yes. How may I help?
Okay, I'm inside a building, right?
Currently leaving the building. It's a very open air building.
Oh, it's not like a building.
You're not, if you're looking for a sprinkler system, it's not going to work. It's a converted factory, and that sprinkler system hasn't worked. If that's what you're looking for. God bless you for trying.
I'm gonna run towards the truck.
It was a good thought, though, Brick. That's true. Good thought. Good game. Cecily,
Yes.
you didn't really see Skulovich because they were far away from you, so you maybe saw it out of the corner of your eye, but you definitely saw Latour's face just disappear.
I'm gonna say to Quentin, I think they're waking up. If we can get ourselves to wake up and we wake up everybody else, we get out of this place.
All right.
I like, yes, so Cecily and Quentin. Quentin, you have line of sight to Albestrus because you have been stalactited away from the other ranger. Yeah, but Cecily, a face has just disappeared, leaving a link, ley line, grid thing.
Okay, so
Also, bonus, those bubbles that were around Latour's head trying to convince him, have now moved on to other people. And the longer those bubbles are around, the more those people kind of get drained of the color in their face, going from like a white kind of moon color into sort of like a grayscale, like it's being drained out of their face.
Can I pop any of these bubbles?
You can certainly try. How would you like to attempt this?
Can I like poke it with my power sword?
Sure. Give me whatever roll you use for your power sword, and let's see if you can slice through one of these wicked dream bubbles.
I want to save everybody.
I mean, that's always the goal. You
It's
get a
true.
21.
I got a 20.
You slice through a couple of them, and Vestris just goes, "You don't have to do that. They weren't hurting anyone. They were just siphoning off people's wishes and dreams. You're such a rude girl. In my day, people weren't rude like that."
I'll show you a rude girl.
Were you going to follow that up with anything, or were you just saying...
Oh yeah, no, I thought. Sorry, I was like, and then she's gonna.
Unless
No,
Quentin wants to pipe in, that seems like a perfect 10
I was kind of giving him a moment because I felt like it was all me for a second, so I was like giving a moment.
I mean, Quentin,
See if
is there
Quentin wanted
anything
to
you
do-
want to do after that out and outright, I don't know what it's called, this denigration of girl power, I guess?
I mean, are we still separated by the stalagmite
Yeah.
thing? Right. But she's
you-
talking and dealing with both of us.
I mean, you haven't done anything to warrant her even looking at you yet. Like,
Fair enough.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I mean,
I know she's not paying attention to me. That might be a good thing.
you also have an open field to the other side of you, and there are faces all the way around the room.
And was she successful in popping a bubble?
She successfully popped 2 bubbles, actually, because she got a 21. But you can't
Okay.
see that, so unless she shared that information in victory,
Pop the bubbles. They're affecting people's mental states. I don't know what's really going on.
well, and not everyone has a bubble either. There's not one bubble for a person. So it seems like the bubbles gravitate toward people with the strongest will. I will just give you that, because there's no other way to put that. There's no way to be
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make my way over to the area that's open, away from her. And it was a finesse roll to pop these bubbles.
Whatever your, what are you using to try to pop the bubble?
I'm gonna go with my Shuko.
Okay,
My
give me
old
whatever
ninja
your
claws for
whatever your
finesse.
power weapon roll is. I think
Yeah, 13.
you pop one, you don't get
Okay.
called rude or anything. Sylvester seems more concerned with Cecily
Mhm.
than you. Give me a culture roll, Quentin.
15.
So let's put together something in your mind for a
Mhm.
moment. So these bubbles that you are popping are about the dreams that people have. And in fact, you are almost seduced by the dreams that people have, right? Like
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
desire for security, that's
Mhm.
really strong. And it seems like you're not sure, but it seems like that's kind of the problem. So, yeah, you can pop the bubble, but the people are still here. The bubbles aren't keeping the people here. No one disappeared after the bubbles were popped. They disappeared. So, could be the
Mhm.
bubbles, sure, but not everyone has one either. There's only a few floating around on your side, and those people are looking a little gray, not looking like they look.
Am I able to talk to any of these people?
You want to try?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
I'm gonna try to talk to them and be like, look, these dreams are great dreams to have, but you have to make them a reality in your own life yourself. You're not gonna just get it easily by some random, wish fulfillment.
Give me a persuasion, and if you have, do you have any points in persuasion?
I do.
What do you have that in?
D6.
Yeah, but what is your, is it the diplomacy, flattery, romance, or truth?
Oh, I don't have a specialty
Okay.
in that. That's
Then I'm going to say you're specializing in telling the truth. Give me that persuasion.
okay. 11.
Got an 11. You got through to one person. Brick, you're going to see this because you're at the edge of the parking lot. One of the people glows yellow and then gasps awake. Quentin, as they disappear, convinced by your. And Jane, the cactus wriggles a little bit more than it had been. Now the question is, Quentin, do you believe what you just said? Do you actually believe that you can achieve those things, or were you just telling that to other people to get them to say stuff?
I mean, I believe you can achieve it if you work for it, but you got to make it happen.
Give me a persuasion roll.
15.
Alvestris did not like what you did. Cecily, you feel this. The whole room starts to shake with rage. and she looks at Quentin, and she says in the most vicious tone of voice, "Shut up."
Don't stop. Cecily's gonna like plead as she's like trying to like get through to people, like popping
Mhm.
bubbles.
Give me a persuasion roll, Cecily.
Will
Actually,
do.
give me, because you're you, give me a
Yeah.
performance role. Because you know some inspiring speeches about being
Yes.
true to
Yes.
yourself throughout history.
I got a 17.
17, 5 people, including one of the people who were growing very gray and even almost given up all hope, disappear and wake up and obviously freak out and run away. But they glow blue for a moment, just a moment. And Jane, even you see that this time. And Jane, I want you to use your might and I want you to hit that cactus with an edge. You don't see that every day. Hit that cactus. 16. You send sparks and needles off of this prone cactus. They are not out, but they are not nearly as strong as they were. And we're going to go back to the waking world. Brick, people are waking up in color. It's madness. Jane just smacked the cactus like there was no tomorrow, but there's still many people asleep.
Yeah. Well, I know what I'm trying to do, and I'm headed towards the fire truck to try and blast these people with some water. So I'm gonna try and do that.
So, you know how we talked earlier about your technology skill not being high?
Sure.
You know how I said that Skull's dad was the head of the Integral Fire Department?
Yeah.
And you know how you just transferred some of your skill to Skull and vice versa without knowing you did it?
I have skull powers.
Give me a technology roll with a shift up of 2.
Okay. 19.
You've never used this kind of mechanical system before, but you know how to use it. And now's not the time.
This is a Unix system.
Yeah, now's not the time to kind of put in the back of your mind, file away. I definitely should not know how to do this. But Skull is his dad's kid, and as much as he doesn't want to be it, he knows how to work these machines because he's been around them all his life. You bring there's like it's like a hydro pump system, but it's not like you can decide how much water. So like you don't have to water cannon someone in the face. You can do like that really cool like sprinkler effect. You can make it into like a stream, but you have
Right.
control
I'm
over
thinking.
this.
Yeah. I'm thinking. So, have we all seen the Power Rangers movie from '95? Seen that?
I did a podcast episode on it for 2 hours, so yes, I've seen it.
Okay, so at the very end of the movie, there's the scene where like Bulk and Skull are like spraying all of the zombified parents so that they don't walk off the cliff. So that's
Yes.
kind of what I'm envisioning that I'm doing right now is just kind of like spraying. It's like a mist, so I'm not a mist, but like a jet of water that is like flowing. That I'm aiming up so that like the water is kind of like falling on people instead of like blasting them in the face.
And people are waking up, and in the dream world, Elvestris is not happy as people are waking up, and she was pretty sure that you weren't going to be able to figure this out, and you were just going to be stuck in dream world until you gave her what she wanted. But the faces are starting to disappear, and it's getting kind of hard to control the room. It is rumbling and not with rage. And Elvestris is like, this is my time to go. And without a villainous monologue speech, she exits and just kind of leaves you two. The stalagmites are still there. She didn't like get rid of them. So Quentin, you still can't get to Cecily without destroying something. But nothing is going to come up again.
Well, I think we need to get as many people woken up as possible and try to get ourselves woken up.
Yeah.
People are definitely waking up little by little. I mean, it wouldn't take a genius to figure out. You're not seeing pink or red energy, but obviously something happened on the other end that was very positive. And there's less and less faces as time goes by. You probably worry about yourself.
Okay. How are we gonna get out of here? Can I visualize? Can I meditate my way back into the mortal coil?
How did other people get out?
They got woken up,
How did they get woken up?
popping bubbles, and
They started believing that they could make their dreams come true
yeah.
themselves.
What does that look like? What does that actually really look like? Cecily, I mean, you lived this like Ren Fair existence. This is the first time you've been at a school for more than 6 months, the first time you've actually had to actively work in community. In your heart of heart, what does it really take to succeed? What does it really take to wake up from a dream and live reality?
I think Cecily didn't have an answer for that before, and she's starting to figure it out now. That it's living each day to the best of your ability and embracing the moments and mistakes that you make along the way, because they're what makes you stronger. And I think that's something that she's gotten more familiar with, because before everything felt like it was just like a random day, and now it feels like it's actually building up into something and making her into a different person.
The acknowledgement of change is enough in your heart because you realize that you have the ability to change and you teleport back into your own body. Like Quentin, you actually see like the ranger teleportation rays, but Cecily, you wake up back in the real world, half covered in lemonade, because
Right.
when Brick splashed Skull awake, some of it got onto your arm. So you're also like lemonade fresh, which is kind of nice.
Delicious.
You are morphed, by the way. No one saw it happen. So no one
Lemony
knows you're Blue
fresh.
Ranger.
Now
But
is
Cecily, you are.
is my suit lemonade proof?
Your suit is lemonade proof. It is. Lemonade is not going to like your weapon would need to be waterproof, but lemonade is a special exception. Like it's not that acidic. So you are like you wake up north and you can smell the lemonade, but you are not like doused.
Gonna jump into action.
Yeah, Quentin,
Yeah.
you had this kind of dream bubble that almost seduced you about the idea of security, the idea of your family, and like
I mean,
kind of hurts a little bit, right? Like you're almost like a weakness in a way that you care so deeply for your family and you want that success for them, and you got taken advantage of essentially.
yeah, yeah. Plus, the future that she showed me seemed kind of boring.
Talk about that. But what would actually
Stupid
be not
creatures.
boring for you?
I need to do something that's successful and has security, but also is fulfilling. Got to figure out what that is. Got to figure out what I'm good at and what I like to do.
The admittance that maybe you don't have all the answers, which is one of the most mature things, and not
Mhm.
even grown adults in their 50s sometimes.
Yeah.
But the admittance that you don't have the answers, but that you should probably work on finding out the
Yeah,
answer.
I need to figure that out.
That's enough. I will give you teleporting back into your body as your more YOLO Ranger self. Britt, how does it feel using someone else's expertise? Does it feel strange to you? Like, do you miss being able to morph? Like,
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like I'm also having like some of Skull's like weird I'm starting to do some of the weird like ticks that he does.
yeah, you're not
So-
feeling very in charge. Like, because Skull's always second banana to both. There's very few times anyone's ever seen them apart. Don't you kind of wish you were yourself again?
Yeah, I do. I
You
do.
still have- You still have that. You still have the little coin, right? The little record emblem from the.
Yeah.
I want you to give me an alertness roll.
17.
Yeah. So that cactus that Jane knocked over, it has a little hole in the bottom of its foot that thing would fit in perfectly. And if you can give me a targeting 15 or higher, you'll be able
Let's
to
go,
morph and do it.
baby. That's
You
a
got-
20.
That is a 20. You'd much rather be Britt Kerrigan with all the great stuff that comes with it and all the not so great stuff that comes with it. And as much as you like music and being distracted, you've got a job to do. You've got something that you have to do. The little thing, little record emblem glows a little bit, and then the outside of it crumbles to reveal this weird iron disc. And it's really like it's kind of stinging your fingers, and you just tuck it to get it away from you. Like it felt like a scorpion was on your fingertip. And Jane, you get out of the way just in time as this little iron disc coin thing comes zipping by you, and it hits that cactus's foot, and the cactus just explodes into like a million little cactusy pieces. Brick, you are the Pink Ranger now. You have morphed without even having to speak into existence because it was waiting for you. And you are all back. People are slowly waking up. There are a couple of people that need to be taken away by ambulance, but eventually Zordon gets you all convened back at the command center and says, Rangers, you did an extraordinary job today. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone need anything from us?
I learned a lot about myself.
Good, that's always important. Alpha is going to have you go into the med chair that Jane was in, Britt. It's kind of like the Star Trek chair with the little hoop on the bottom of it. And you're at about 55% power. Like you are not where you should be. But Alpha says, whatever happened, you'll be back to yourself in a week. The morphing grid is strange, but it looks like something tried to siphon out your power and it got about half of it. That's probably why you weren't able to morph if you had any trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I bumped into Skull at some point while we were in the
You
antique
bumped into
mall.
a skull? There was a skull?
No, I forgot you don't know this stuff. Yeah, no, just one of our classmates. I bumped into him and I saw his eyes flash pink, and I thought maybe like we had, I don't know, swapped. But anyway, what I'm saying is I don't really feel like myself, but I'm slowly starting to come back to me.
That's
yeah,
good. You can always tell that Alpha is concerned even though he doesn't have eyes. And Zordon says, it's a curious thing. We'll keep an eye on it. And if you need us, Britt Kerrigan, don't be afraid to contact. There are many mysteries to the Morphin Grid we can almost never fully understand. We can only be at peace with what we may know and can accomplish with what we know. You had this field day. You had a pancake breakfast. And a couple of you ended up in a dream realm, almost getting taken to the dark side.
Having an existential crisis. Yeah.
An existential crisis. That's enough for me. You are going to reach your next level, Ranger, which I believe will make you all level 4. And that is going to be our episode for tonight. No cliffhangers, but there are other people out there, both in Angel Grove and in the rest of the world, know a little bit more about the Morphin Grid than you, and maybe even Zordon. And of course, there's a missing page in the lore book that they have. It has to be out there somewhere. Things just don't disappear, do they? Everyone listening, thank you for listening in. You'll just have to tune in next time to find out what happens. Same Morphin time, same Morphin channel. And everyone have a more phenomenal week, and may the power protect you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for being here and being a friend.